They're more infectious than they would have been if they had been infected with one of these previously circulating strains. And it's really because of that that we're changing the recommendations regarding masking.
Okay. Vaccinated or not, every Louisiana resident is at some risk from the Delta variant.
Leading disease expert, she sat down with WDSU's Emily Lane to explain what's different about the Delta variant breakthrough infections and what happens when vaccinated people contract COVID-19 and why everyone should start masking up again.
Delta is a game changer.
With COVID-19 cases climbing and hospitals approaching capacity, Louisiana health officials are recommending more vigilant testing and masking protocols. State epidemiologist Teresa Sokol says the shift reflects how easily the Delta strain spreads. She sat down with me to answer questions as the fourth surge grips the region, starting with the updated guidance.
We're now recommending that everyone mask indoors, regardless of vaccination status, and that everyone who is exposed be tested after exposure, regardless of vaccination status. And those are the two big changes.
State health data show a 60% increase in breakthrough cases from the most recent week's worth of data.
The degree to which we are seeing these cases right now is really related to the degree of transmission that we're seeing in the community.
Is a person with a breakthrough case, someone who's fully vaccinated, are they as likely to spread the virus as somebody who is unvaccinated and infected?
The data are still emerging. Some of the preliminary studies that I have seen so far indicate that might be the case. Well, there is basically a lab marker that measures the strength of the positivity of a test, which sort of correlates to how infectious a person is. And they've seen similar levels of this particular lab marker among fully vaccinated and unvaccinated individuals, or partially vaccinated individuals who are infected with Delta specifically. Was not the case with previous strains.
Testing is a critical tool to slow the transmission, she says.
And to sum it up, you should get tested if A, you have any symptoms at all consistent with COVID, and B, if you have an exposure, whether or not you're vaccinated.
Whether or not you're vaccinated, yes.
But spread of the Delta variant is best curbed by getting more shots in arms, Sokol says.
It's important to note that unvaccinated individuals are still at the greatest risk for infection, and especially for severe illness and hospitalization and death, by far.
She concluded her plea to get vaccinated with a sobering prediction.
Our hospitals will be facing a crisis, and we will see more and more people dying. We will see more multi-inflammatory system cases in children. We're going to see really sad, really unfortunate health outcomes, and they're going to start increasing very, very soon.
For WDSU Investigates, I'm Emily Lane.